A very good afternoon and welcome to UBC Lunchtime News on this last day of November 2023. I'm Loreen Masika Kazimoto bringing you the news this afternoon. We start off with Fukuhara Ichiro, the senior representative of the International Cooperation Agency, stressed that volunteers are not limited to individuals with formal designations, but include ordinary people in communities such as neighbors who selflessly contribute to improving the lives of others. Fukuhara Ichiro delivered the remarks in Kampala in anticipation of the International Day of Volunteerism.
Fukuhara Ichiro delivered the remarks in Kampala in anticipation of the International Day of Volunteerism. He stressed that volunteers play a crucial role in the national society binary pro-society, particularly as first responders in emergencies, showcasing their dedication and quick response in times of crisis.
To encourage all the people in Uganda and outside Uganda to do the volunteering activity. Because if everyone did the volunteering activity, I believe that we can change something for the better life, better world in this country. Yeah, so to encourage the people to do something for the better future would be our expected achievement.
A widespread network of volunteers across the country, organized into branches and sub-branches, are to embrace the occasion.
We have been pushing through the parliament to try and see how we amend our bill to speak to the current times, because we have stretched our wings bigger, like I mentioned, to try and incorporating day-to-day challenges and of the current times. You talked about the street children. When we're being enacted in 1964, they were not there. But now these are some of the day-to-day challenges that are affecting or causing human suffering, and we have to amend the bill.
An exponential growth in volunteer numbers since 2019 has increased, attributing it to increased awareness and the organization's commitment to sharing its mission.
No one has it all. No one has it expertise in all areas. So our close partners include government, CSOs, private sector, universities, and most importantly, the primary actors, people we call beneficiaries, are our partners in all the programs. Our approaches ensure that our work creates resilience. It's about ensuring that someone can come back to earn a living, someone can access education, someone can access primary health care, someone can change the life of another person that he cares about.
The core philosophy of volunteering revolves around individuals wanting to make a positive impact without expecting anything in return.
Volunteers, some of them are retired teachers, some of them are retired agriculturalists, and they contribute towards the school programs, especially improving learning outcomes and also reducing or dropping out of children.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Makerere University Lung Institute has embarked on creating awareness about lung health, especially for people who are exposed to dust and contaminated air. The institute registers 300 to 400 people with lung-related complications on a monthly basis. We have more details.
It is believed that environmental factors such as air pollution can lead to lung respiratory complications. Respiratory diseases are one of the leading causes of death globally, but low-income countries, Uganda inclusive, account for the highest numbers. At Makerere University Lung Institute, 300 to 400 people presenting with lung-related complications are recorded monthly. The institute has embarked on creating awareness about how people can protect their lungs while at work.
The care that we are looking at really is the protection of the lungs as we are at our workplaces. Over time we have observed that quite a number of people are exposed to unclean air that they breathe in when they are at their workplaces. And this includes people like miners, this includes people like the sweepers on the roads, this includes people like the traffic officers or the managers that that control traffic on the roads, because every time they are standing on the road for excessive number of hours, they are exposed to the dust that comes off the roads as the vehicles are moving, but they are also exposed to the car fumes that come out of all these cars that you can see on the road.
People, especially those exposed to long hours of inhaling polluted air, are advised to wear masks.
So it's important that somebody tries to protect their lungs, and the entry into the lungs is really the nose and the mouth.
The risk factors that include air pollution are increasing with the growing urbanization, and therefore public awareness needs to be heightened to facilitate early detection and treatment outcomes.
As HIV/AIDS continues to cast its shadow, especially among the youth in Uganda, youths have been urged to utilize the available resources and knowledge to curb the spread of HIV/AIDS. This has been communicated during the 20-year celebration of Ugandan Network of Young People Living with HIV/AIDS held in Kampala.
The Minister of Health report of 2023 shows that HIV levels have increased in Uganda with about 10,000 new infections annually, followed by Mbarara, Ankole, Bunyoro among other areas. As the country waits to celebrate the International World AIDS Day, the Uganda Network of Youth People Living with HIV have celebrated 20 years of existence while engaging the youth to end stigmatization and discrimination among people living with HIV. During the celebrations, the Director United States Mission, Vamis Vassell, called upon the youth to utilize the available resources so as to limit the spread of HIV.
Great progress, but we have a long way to go. And what does that mean is we need to continue our work. We need to actually do more with the limited resources we have. Everybody's resources are dwindling.
She further assured Ugandans that United States will still support youth affected with HIV.
PEPFAR is not going away. PEPFAR is not. We continue to support the HIV medications, the HIV programs, the adolescent youth programs, the DREAMS programs, all the Y+, and the youth ambassadors that we employ in health facilities. All that.
Our youth, the Executive Director, Uganda Network of Youth Living with HIV, highlighted on their strategic plan of 2024-2026 so as to limit the spread of HIV in the country.
Strengthening the systems of the organizations, one of which is having a UNIPA SRHR training institute. So this training institute would be a go-to center or a one-stop shop for young people living with HIV where they can access information, they can be able to share with one another. So we envision this training institute to be able to have a training facility that can be utilized by UNIPA but also other youth-led and youth-serving organizations to conduct their trainings.
She, however, applauded the Ministry of Health for embracing technology and coming up with new strategies on how to test HIV.
Self-testing kits means to us that there is access to these services and you can do this within the confinement of your home or wherever you feel safe. But we should also take note of the fact that even when these testing kits are available, they have instructions of how you should properly use them. They also have instructions of how to interpret the different results that you may see after testing. But they also give the guidance of if you find that you're HIV positive as per the test, what are the next steps, which may require you to do a confirmatory test from a nearby health facility.
This year's commemoration of the World AIDS Day will be held under the theme, Let Communities Lead, and President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni will be the guest of honor at the event in Rakai. The government of Uganda's target is to end the spread of HIV/AIDS in the country come the year 2030. Deborah Namamonde, Susan Nabugode, UBC News.
So much to see this. The Petroleum Authority of Uganda, in collaboration with the Ministry of Internal Affairs, has introduced an electronic work permit recommendation system to enhance the recruitment of Ugandans in the oil and gas sector and expedite the work permit application process for expatriates required in the industry. During the launch of the electronic work permit system in Kampala, Board Chairperson Jane Nambakire emphasized the positive impact this system will have on streamlining the work permit process.
The board chairperson of the Petroleum Authority of Uganda, Jane Nambachi, explained that the electronic work permit application system aims to eliminate delays previously experienced in obtaining work permits for expatriates. Additionally, it seeks to promote greater integration of Ugandans into the oil and gas sector.
This launching that we've just done today of an electronic work system, work recommendations system is very, very important to us as the PAU. It will make life easy. They've put checks and balances within the system so that if you can't provide all the necessary requirements at a particular stage, you are cut off, you can't even go further. So you will know what to do before you waste time. And if you attach everything as required, then the life of the Petroleum Authority of Uganda going through will be very, very easy. And we should be able to ensure that you get a feedback even less than 3 days. But we've put in place regulations that require them to pass on knowledge transfer, technical transfer of skills, so that with time, this expatriate who is holding this particular job should be able to train a Ugandan, and after a given time, the Ugandan should be able to take over.
The Director of Economics and National Content Monitoring at the Petroleum Authority of Uganda, Penina Ahewa, highlighted that with the introduction of this system, all recommendations and responses for work permit applications will now be conducted online. The transition from the manual work permit system to the electronic one is scheduled to be completed by the end of March 2024.
The interface between us and industry is going to be eased by this system, where we expect industry to submit all their applications for recommendations for work permits online.
Worthy to note, in an effort to promote increased employment of Ugandans in the oil and gas sector, Ahiba stated that the authority now requires any entity to bring in an expatriate to first demonstrate that no Ugandan with equivalent experience has been overlooked.
The way our system is, before you allow in as an expatriate, there has to be demonstration that you've not been able to find a Ugandan.
Crispus, Adinitwe, UBC News.
Uganda has achieved significant progress in the implementation of the regional certification mechanism during the international conference on the Great Lakes region. This certification aims to establish the requirements of the Lake Victoria Basin Commission. The Minister of State for Energy and Mineral Development, Honorable Peter Lukeres, has expressed the government's commitment to investing in mineral development. These announcements were made during the official launch of the International Conference on the Great Lakes Region Certificate in Uganda, organized by the Ministry of Energy in Munyonyo.
Thank you very much. I like to call.
We have just launched the certification process for Uganda. This follows a regional approach that was launched about 20 years ago in Lusaka, where a declaration was made for regional member countries such as Uganda to work on putting in place a certification mechanism that will support mineral traceability. We should be able to trace where minerals are originating from through what we call the chain of custody, the supply chain. So Uganda has now put in place all the required framework to support this certification process. We have put in place the law.
It will not be illegal trade. All the trade will be streamlined. When people are getting, government gets its part. In fact, it means we have to move to the mining site so that immediately the resource is found. It is valued there and then.
The ICDLR certificate was introduced as part of the implementation of the protocol against the illegal exploitation of natural resources. One of the protocols was the Pact on Security, Stability, and Development in the Great Lakes region.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries is urged to prioritize investment in the restoration of soil health to enhance agricultural productivity. Despite Uganda's reputation for having some of the most fertile soils in the region, recent reports indicate a concerning rate of soil degradation. We have more.
Uganda benefits from a predominantly tropical climate with low temperature variability, fertile soils and 2 rainy seasons. However, the pressing need to address nutrient depletion in the soils has become imperative for the sustainability of farming practices. Henk van Doen, President of the International Fertilizer Development Center, IFDC, emphasizes the importance of restoring soil health for improved crop production.
If you look at Uganda, it's the country with the best soils in Africa, at least that's what people say. But you also see that natural depletion of nutrients, degradation of soils is a major challenge here in Uganda. That's the reason why IFDC is present in Uganda, to assure that, that we can restore soils together with farmers, together with the ministry, together with commercial partners, to assure that there is more capacity to produce in Uganda itself and to boost the level of productivity on those good soils which are present here already for years.
The IFDC, a non-government organization, has been actively involved in implementing various programs in Uganda aimed at enhancing agricultural practices. During an event organized by the IFDC in Kampala, stakeholders including Peter Damuzungu, Principal Agriculture Officer in charge of cash crops at the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, echoed the necessity of prioritizing soil health. Damuzungu represented the Director of Crop Resources at the event.
As a ministry, we've been able to work together in a number of interventions. We've been able to work around areas of food and nutritional security.
Looking ahead, the global population is projected to reach 10 billion by 2050, underscoring the urgency of improving soil and plant nutrients to meet the growing demand for food production. The restoration of nutrient-depleted soils is not just a recommendation, but a crucial step towards ensuring sustainable and increased crop production. The collaboration between government institutions and organizations like the IFDC is vital in achieving this goal. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
UBC Lunchtime News takes a very short break, but we return with more stories after these messages.
Jovia ng'oyolekera ku lugendo luno olw'obulamu nkuwa ekirabo eky'amaanyi agatazizibwa, amaanyi okulabibwa n'okuwulirwa mu mawanga ageewala ennyo, okutuuka buli wamu nga yadde togenzeeyo, ensi yonna ng'ekuli mu ngalo. Okutambula mu biseera n'okumanya buli kimu ekirina okumanyibwa. Jovia, kino kye kirabo kyange gy'oli.
Tewali kumuko ki ky'osobola okukola omukutu nnantameggwa ogwa MTN.
West Nile Education Trust Fund announces the 4th annual fundraising dinner to be hosted in Kampala at Kampala Parents Main Hall on Saturday, the 2nd of December 2023, starting at 4 p.m. The Trust Fund targets to support brilliant but needy students from West Nile region to join public universities to study selected professional courses. The fund is currently supporting 28 students in the different public universities across the country. The West Nile Education Trust Fund calls upon all education-loving individuals, corporations, organizations and all well-wishers and associates of West Nile to support this initiative. Tickets are on sale at 100,000 Ugandan shillings per person, 180,000 shillings for a couple, and a corporate table of 6 persons costs 1 million Ugandan shillings. For more information, you can contact Mr. Charles Rakabo on 0772 603 162, Mr. Robert Ejiku on 0772 522 619, and Miss Carol Andama on 0772 760 210.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret? Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM? Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk. No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving. Juko. I thought I was one of your friends. You are. But you left me behind. I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Jovia ng'oyolekera ku lugendo luno olw'obulamu nkuwa ekirabo eky'amaanyi agatazizibwa, amaanyi okulabibwa n'okuwulirwa mu mawanga ag'ewala ennyo, okutuuka buli wamu nga yadde togenzeeyo, ensi yonna ng'ekuli mu ngalo. Okutambula mu biseera n'okumanya buli kimu ekirina okumanyibwa. Jovia, kino kye kirabo kyange gy'oli.
Tewali kkubo ku ki ky'osobola okukola ku mukutu nnantameggwa ogwa MTN.
Amazina ntino Mchisha Grace. Kibina barachetanya Nyabubare Women's Goats Rearing Group.
My name is Tino Mchisha Grace and I am part of Nyabubare Women Goats Rearing Group, consisting of 30 women. We initially started with a plan to rear goats, but we faced some financial constraints. Fortunately, the IWEP program came to our aid. With the funds we received, we were able to purchase 30 goats.
Twaprayinga twakora ebiri kugendererwaho byona sente twazitunga twagura embuzi 30 twarwanisa kugira ngo tushashure esente ezo.
We were determined to repay the loan even if it meant not making any profits initially. As the goats started giving birth, we sold the offsprings. A portion of the earnings was deposited into the bank and the balance was shared among our members to improve their living standards.
Over 1,000 children with disabilities in Uganda every 5 years have not had access to adequate education. And this has been basically due to lack of assistive devices to enable them get reasonable accommodation in schools. Mokisa Humanity and Inclusion Foundation is leading a campaign to fundraise for assistive devices for 500 children with disabilities to get in school in the year 2024. Join us to fundraise for braille machines, slates and styluses, white cane, braille paper, hearing aid, wheelchairs, audiobooks, book recorders, JAWS software, among others on 10th December at Hotel Africana. Register your child with a disability by calling us on 0740 55 04 95 or 0783 91 11 14. Donations from well-wishers are also welcome. Entrance is 100,000, 150,000, 200,000 and a table goes for 1 million shillings. This is sponsored by UBC, Mokisa Inclusive Schools, Mokisa Nursery and Primary School, Herona Hospital, Msafiri Tours and Molia Foundation.
Welcome back from that break. We're glad that you're still with us here on UBC Lunchtime News. In more news, women in media have long been considered a soft target for attacks and violations in the form of sexual harassment, cyberbullying, physical and verbal abuse, with over 40% of women in media suffering mental health abuse. To curb this challenge, different stakeholders for women in media have laid an online platform to enable whistleblowers communicate women harassment. We have more.
A study conducted by Uganda Media Women's Association revealed that 1 in 3 women have considered quitting journalism due to violations like sexual harassment, and it is from such reports that the platform has been introduced.
We welcome this up because it will help to highlight what is going on within the media industry, and it will help our sisters to tell what they go through. But I request UMA to put action plans so that this vice can be eroded out of the industry, because many of our sisters and our wives have left the industry because of such cases. But if we report them and even action taken, it will help to curb the situation and even to create a free area for future generations.
It's a digital platform that can be accessed both online and offline on the website, where you go and browse in Self-Report UG. The digital platform is called Self-Report UG, or an application downloaded from Google Play Store. Again, the platform is called Digital Safe UG. So particularly the information that we are collecting or being reported through this platform is to get to know the victim or the survivor. We get to know the violation, what is it exactly that has happened, the details of the incident, who the perpetrator is, any form of impact that has been created. Is it physical or psychological? Have they sought support? Do they need support? And then also, what can be done from UMA or any other actors to support them in the challenge that they have experienced.
Emphasis was laid on the need for collaboration between media organizations and government agencies to address violence against female journalists.
We are undertaking signing of MOUs with different actors. These are media managers and editors, also media organization, women rights organization, to see that there's awareness created around this platform and popularization of its purpose to female journalists, but then all people out there.
The affected victims of harassment will be offered support in form of guidance, moral and emotional support after thorough investigations.
To engage a media house, if an issue has been pointed out, a violation within that media house, to bring the issue to their attention. First, the survivor is being supported. We see that they get support if they need support in terms of psychological or legal support.
The Uganda Media Women's Association will officially lay open the website on the 7th of December 2023 for access to every whistleblower. Mariona Wori for UBC.
Now, majority of eye problems have been attributed to late diagnosis, high cost of treatment and poor eye care that has caused many people's sight. This has been revealed by Simon Mugera, the Outreach Coordinator, Eyes Department, Mengo Hospital, during a free eye screening camp organized by the Lions Club of Kampala East in Naguru. Take a look.
Citing cataracts as one of the leading causes of blindness, eye diagnosis and taking foods rich in vitamins and surgery when recommended by the physician have been mooted as pivotal in averting eye loss of sight.
Such screenings are very significant in the community because it goes down to the last person in the community, those who cannot access the services at the health facility, those who cannot even afford transport to our base hospital. This kind of screening shows you how big people in the community are affected with eye care services, eye care issues. So us coming to the community, we are ensuring that they get the best care they deserve. Cataract is one of the main causes of blindness.
Mogera says children are also at risk of contracting cataracts, and this is exacerbated by the fact that many times parents leave behind their children when going for eye testing. He furthermore highlights that cataract surgery are 100% safe.
Every adult, whenever we call upon people to come for eye screening, they tend to leave their children back. And back in our communities, many people have different myths about eye issues. So when they see their children with cataracts, they tend to hide them.
The past president of Lions Club of Kampala East, Patrick Mugenyi, says eye care should be prioritized every day because it's a pivot upon which life activities depend. He says this outreach in vulnerable communities like Naguru are crucial in bridging medical gaps.
It's very important that we reach our mandate of fulfilling that core activity of vision. Because we have about 5 core activities, but now it is the turn for looking out for people's eyes so that they are healed. They are screened for cataracts, and some are given lenses, and others are operated by Mengo Hospital. I would also want to add that
Crispus Arinitwe, UBC News.
Well, that's all we had for you this afternoon. Thank you so much for being part of UBC Lunchtime News. I'm Lorraine Masika Kazimoto. Have yourself a lovely afternoon.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
We are 6 women